Well, all right, now that we know what design patterns are and where they came from, why in the world do I care? One of the biggest reasons that design patterns matter for us is that it gives our profession of software development a language. This is a professional language that we can use with each other. Take, for example, the circumstance of builders or carpenters coming together on a single job. These carpenters may well have been trained in different places, they've attended different trade schools, and they all have different experiences. However, rest assured that each and every one of those carpenters knows when they look at a drawing like this one, they're looking at a tenon joint. There is a term for the type of joint we're looking at, the tenon joint, and carpenters know it. Now, if you look even closer at this particular tenon joint, it does not follow the classic definition of a tenon joint. We can recognize the pattern of a tenon joint in what we see. Also, even though there's been a variation on the theme after the carpenter got to work here, any other professional carpenter will be able to look at this and immediately recognize it as a tenon joint. This makes work within a team absolutely speed up when developers can look at each other and simply say, we should use a factory here. We should use a visitor pattern here. And if we all understand what that means, that helps us be far more effective. This is establishing the professionalism of our craft in the form of a shared language. And not least of the benefits are the idea that design patterns can help us avoid constantly reinventing solutions that have already been solved. And it's important to recognize that these design patterns are intended to provide a starting point for us, a template, if you will, like in Microsoft Word. When I create a new resume, I still have to fill in my implementation details. However, I do have a general layout and a general idea of what it is I'm going to produce. And that helps me be far more effective by not having to focus on low-level details. Design patterns give us that same sort of advantage that we get from templates. Now, it just so happens that what design patterns do is provide a human understandable abstraction on top of much of our code. And when doing so, it has the side effect of generally improving the design of our code, of our systems, and of our application architecture. When using design patterns, we'll often derive code that has much better separation of concerns, clear responsibilities for each classes, is much easier to read and maintain. So overall, it improves the craftsmanship of the code that we're working on when we use patterns to express our solutions.